Hello again. You have returned to Steph the Jeweler and another episode of Passing the Torch. This is a pro jeweler teaching. So if you have been following this series of videos, I am making a sterling silver brooch. This is the composition. And we're doing it for a customer. It's going to have tourmalines, a few white CZs, just to give a little sparkle. Isn't that cute? It is a takeoff of a Royal Monarch brooch. And we're going to do ours as a brooch and a pendant. So it's going to be kind of fun. We do our own spin on it. This is just the composition that we like. So I have been cutting out all the pieces and parts, and I have shown how to do that in other videos. Got a bunch of leaves done. I still have some more to go. I'm going to tell you, if you refer to directions from the previous videos, that I am going to put the rubber cement on both sides, if you remember, of the metal and the back of the design, the paper. Getting that done now. Okay, and we're going to transfer these to metal so that we can cut out the patterns. So once again, little rubber cement, and then we put the rubber cement on the piece of metal that we're using. So I don't think I need those pieces of metal. So that one went on there, that goes on there, this goes on there. Okay, so then we paint the back of this model as well. Okay, and once it dries, it will stick in place so that we can saw it with our jeweler saw. And we just had to change the blade earlier too. You can hear it ding-a-linging, nice and taut. Hear that? So refer to the last video and I teach how to do that. Once these dry, we can flip over our design that we're cutting out and put it on the metal so that we can cut it. But it has to be dry in order to work properly. All right. We got one on. It looks like it's wet, but it's pretty dry. Here is the second one. We're using all our little scrap pieces of metal because I never throw anything away. My family will tell you that. Actually, I'm trying to get organized, so I'm doing much better. But I'm the kind of person I feel like you can always use this in another place or application. And I know the moment I throw things away and I regret it, but I try not to be a hoarder because that's not good. Well, I've streamlined everything, organizing everything. I have to tell you, it feels good. Okay, and the last leaf will go on this piece of, well, which piece of metal was it? Oh, I did not do a piece of metal for that guy. All right, let me get a piece of metal for that one real quick. That's what I missed. Yes, okay. Yeah, so I've just got lots of little pieces here. I just got a little confused. So in this series, if you watch me on YouTube, I am a 30-year jeweler, fine jeweler, and a designer, do a lot of repair work, things of that nature. I have my own studio, and I have for since 2006, so quite a few years. It's a lot of fun, Get to meet a lot of nice people, work on a lot of cool stuff. Something I'm going to do here with you guys is I'm going to be working on customer items. So everything I'm making in these videos almost always will be a customer's piece. We'll be sizing a ring, we'll be building something like this. I'm doing a really cool brooch. So, we'll always be doing something cool. I thought about maybe making classes. Maybe you guys can let me know if it's something you would want to see. That might be something cool to do as well. I could even help you. I have been in the industry so long. I have amazing connections in the industry, so I could get every kind of gem and diamond and silver and gold and anything. So if we do end up doing that kind of thing, I could also help you acquire items if you need it. So, okay, so now that our leaves are ready to saw. I showed in the other video how to do it properly, but this is a lubricant. I call it Burr Lube, but you can even just use a little piece of bar soap. Works good, but it lubricates the blade here, so it is very thin. So it has little teeth on the front here. So you want to keep it lubricated so it'll last a nice long time, but they do break. They break on me and they will break on you. Never fear, you'll get good at it. You want to keep the blade up and down, and you want it to be resting with your thumb at the back, your fingers here loosely, see, like that, and you want to keep it going straight up and down, not forward, not back. We want to try to keep it going up and down very easily and lightly. You hold the metal with your fingers on either side over the V in your bench pin. That's what this is called. Okay, and always be careful. Keep your fingers behind the blade. Because let me tell you, that hurts like a bug. Like a booger. I'm not going to cuss on these videos, but it hurts like a lot. Every once in a while, I have been known to let a word fly when I do something like that. And it hurts. So I'm trying to help you avoid hurting yourself. And I showed you in the other video how to make turns like that. Because you have to do it a certain way so that you don't break the blade. So you might want to refer to the past video. All right, getting near the end of this guy. You'll get pretty quick with sawing once you get a lot of practice and you're not breaking blades. That's the trick, not to break the blades. I just dropped it in my drawer. It's always nice to have a jeweler's bench to have a drawer. See, catches all my stuff. Let's see if I can get this back the way it needs to be. I am new on YouTube and new in making videos, so bear with me. I do apologize. Okay, so we did that one. So, yeah, there is one more on this guy. That's what I thought. Okay, so let's cut out one more leaf off of this piece of metal. You gotta get it started. Okay. And we just follow our line all the way around, trying to keep our line, as I mentioned in a previous video. And the reason that you do that is so that you always kind of have your original look there, so you can find it easily enough. If you hear somebody else talking in the background, that is my son. He is upstairs playing video games, so I was putting that out there. We are in my basement studio tonight working. I have a retail studio. We'll be working there a lot as well. But tonight, I'm trying to get some work done at home. It is a cold and snowy day here. It is January. And it is cold. All right, we got another big leaf here. Oh, I just broke my blade. You see that? Doggone it. Okay, so now it is time to change, and I showed in the last video how to do it, but I will show you again. I will take off the bench pen real quick. You have to use your body to kind of push against the handle. We want it to be nice and taut, nice and strong. You cannot have a wimpy blade. You will not get anything cut if that happens. All right. So here is the blade. And I am going to put it against my chest and I'm going to push forward. But first, what I have to do is undo the wing nut. I'll take the piece out. And again, I explained last video, I like to save the ends of these because you can have different applications for, you know, attaching a small drop of glue on something, or even antiquing. Sometimes I'll use it to get into small areas, which is a patina that you sometimes put on your metal. Okay, again, you have your teeth facing out and down so they catch when you run your finger up. Put it in at the bottom first, Be sure that it'll go up all the way between the bottom and the top and the wing nuts. I tighten that up. Okay, and then we push it against our chest and we tighten that wing nut. See, I always use a plier to get it nice and tight. Also, my hands kind of have a little carpal tunnel and I don't have a lot of strength. So you see, listen, hear that? Isn't that nice? It means it's nice and taut and ready to work for us here. So I'm going to put my bench pen back up with my C-clamp on my bench at my house here. Tighten it up, my great big bench pen. But it works just for this reason, so I can put all my little pieces up there. Okay, I got another leaf to cut out. I'm going to put a little bit of burr lube on the back of my saw and just kind of push it out. See? Be sure there's nothing on in the teeth. And I'm going to start again in the V area so it supports the piece of metal on either side. I usually put my finger on either side and have the blade in the middle, and protect your finger. Keep the one that's closest to the blade towards the back. We don't want you cutting your finger. Okay, I'm back to where I was. So I just keep going. If you hear some wind or something in the background, I apologize. I'm in the basement, so the furnace just kicked on. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting through that little leaf. We are just about there. All right, there's one side. And the other side. Follow it around. And kind of blow off the dust so you can see your line. You know you're in the right place. You can cut right on the line. I mean, you just want to be able to know that you're in the right spot. That's why we put a line there to begin with. So there's that. And now I have one thing left to do. Now what I'm doing is, do you see these three pieces here? Okay, those are going to be at the bottom of the bud. So where the flowers are, there's a little bud here. Do you see that? And at the bottom, you know how in roses sometimes they have little, sprouts kind of looking things underneath the bud, like where the leaves folded down. So that's what those are going to be. So my idea, instead of having to solder these three little guys together, is I put them the way they were going to look, but I have them touching here and here. Do you see that? So what I'm going to do is cut them out, but I'm going to leave them touching here. All right. And so once they're assembled, I can actually grind a line there or do some detail work so that it looks like three separate leaves, but it'll be easier for assembly if it's all one unit. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to move my V on the bench board just a little because its counter is in the way. And I can't get it up close to the end of the V because it's a small piece. So there we go. I'm going to use a little burr lube because, it's a small thing I'm cutting out there. So here we go. And what I do is I said on the last video, you will not have pretty nails. This is the prettiest my nails look usually. You lean the side with no teeth against the edge of your fingernail, okay? And you hold that down on the metal. So then when it goes up and down, it helps you start. Because if not, it's like jerk, 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 It's kind of hard to do. Let me find the piece. It just disappeared. There it is in the drawer of my desk. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll hold the edge of the metal and I'll push down just so that it stays in place for when I try to, it's kind of hard to see. And that's how I start on the metal. And because this is small, it's going to be hard for you to see, but I'm going to go around. I have to hold it on either side with my fingers so that it doesn't wobble around. If it wobbles around, that's how you break your saw blades. So I actually, in this case, I cut off the end And I'm going to do a little V cut, and then I'm going to go around to the base for this design. So I'm going to cut them out as individual pieces. It'll just be easier. So let's get started. All right, so there's one V. I'll back it up. See? And I'm going to do a second V. Can you see it? Let me show you. Get a hold of it here. Okay, can you see that? I have a little V. I'm going to cut those little V's out and I'll show you. I'll do one and then show it to you. So I did one side of it. It keeps falling on me. Okay, and here's the other side. Don't be concerned if I ever cut myself. It does happen. We're working with little pieces especially. But hopefully I will not. Okay, you can, look, there it went. There we go. So see, I did V, V. Can you see it? And then it just will pop right out. See? Boop. Can you see how that's missing there? Cut that little chunk out. So I'm going to do that a couple more times. It's catching. Okay, a little more burr loop. It starts getting sticky or catching. That's how you know you need a little more of the lubricant on the saw blade. There we go. These small detail pieces always take a little doing. Alright, there was the next V. Little piece of a pie. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm just bending that little piece out. See? Boop. So there's two. Alright. So it is a little grunt work. I mean, this is a complicated piece that we're doing. I mean, this is no easy piece to do. Now, since you're just getting started, you could always just make a single flower and a single leaf the way we're doing it here. Don't feel like you have to do it the way that I'm doing it. This is, like I said, for a customer. So we're doing what we need to do for that. But you can make yours much simpler. You can follow along at home and do things similar. You could to the way I'm doing them, like you saw the picture that I drew. I usually do that for two reasons. One, to get my design, and the other is I'm going to take each of these little pieces and put them over the place where they correspond, just because it makes it easier to remember where the pieces go. Kind of like a puzzle. Very much like a puzzle. Okay, I'm almost done with these little details. This is the very end of it. I just got to get close enough I can grab at it. Come here, you. All right, one part of a V. Another part of a V. Fascinating. I don't know how to find music, because I love music or something, to have on in the background. But the problem is, YouTube has those, you can't play certain things. And I can't figure out how to find music that we could listen to. It's not like copyrighted. So like I said, I'm new to all of this video business. So when I figure that out, maybe we can have some music too. But I watch some videos where they don't have music on in the background. Maybe it would distract. I don't know. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. All right, I am seriously on my last cut here. Come on, guy. Let's see here. It's always the last one that gets you, doesn't it? Okay, I did it. So the three little pieces, I've kind of rubbed the lines off now, but we'll sculpt them into the bottom area there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is look and see if we have all these pieces that we need, with the exception of, of course, we're gonna have to do the vines and the assembly. Well, let's see where we're at for our picture. So can you see the picture? So like a puzzle, I'm just going to start putting things on. Now these flowers are going to be, everything's going to be 3D. Okay, so one will be behind the other, for example, and we'll have them kind of layered over each other. So when you look at it, it'll be interesting. These little three that we just cut out will go down here. I'll just flip it over for now. Turn it upside down. We'll sculpt those to look the way they're supposed to look. Now let's see. This bigger leaf with the swirl in it, to me, looks like it goes here. Okay, does. Well, here's a big leaf. I think that one probably will go there. We can make it what we want. It's our design. I mean, we got ideas about the composition, but we're going to make it our own. Yeah, never copy anybody's work. It's not like when you're practicing a painting and you do a painting that's similar. This is actually a little more serious. You don't want to take somebody else's design totally. That's just wrong. So, try to make it your own piece. So I think this one will probably go behind the flower and kind of stick out there. You see? And then this guy is the leaf. It'll go over here. We'll look at it here in a minute. I'll pick up the camera for you. And the bud is actually we're going to make it a little concave, make it like round like a bud. So we'll have this base piece, and then this piece will fit over it to make it look like it's budding. So we'll do that. We'll go together over here. We're getting there, you guys. See, so the bud will be here. And then this piece will be together on here. It'll look very much like a bud. It's just in reverse. It'll be this way. So we have a lot of work to do to make it work. Can you see that? See all the little silver pieces? We're going to make those silver pieces into leaves, into flowers. It's going to be really cool. And then on these areas here, we're going to have, this will be basically thick round wire. We're going to make it look like, the stick like the stems. And they're going to kind of wrap around each other here at the bottom. It's going to be really sharp. So I will find the rest of the material that we're going to need, and then we will start the next video putting that all together and getting it ready to solder. Okay, so thanks. See you soon.